Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, MadridistaFitz, home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. We are by far the poorest YouTube channel, but we have by far the best PowerPoint slides. And the big news today, home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. That's not the first. That's not the second. That's 1-1. Two big middle fingers to Barcelona fans. And they should be terrified of the news emerging out of Real Madrid today. Are you listening in, Barcelona fans? You Barcelona bums? You cry, little babies? I wish I had my son here. I have a 4-year-old. I've trained him to say on command, Barcelona. When I say Barcelona, he says, cry, little babies, cry. And y'all should be crying tonight because Real Madrid is bringing back the special one. Jose Mourinho is coming back to the Bernabeu, which I have here on this first slide. Jose Mourinho agrees to Real Madrid return after 13 years from leaving the Spanish Giants. Breaking news, Jose Mourinho back to Real Madrid. Here we go. And here you go is right. I love this move. I'll get into that in a second, but let's just go over the terms. It says, all terms have been verbally agreed between Jose Mourinho and Real Madrid, waiting to sign all documents. Plan for a 2-year deal. Jose Mourinho to travel to Madrid after their last game against Bilbao. The special one is back. I love me some Jose Mourinho. I've been a fan of Real Madrid for, I would say, around 20 years. I started watching them really in high school during the Galactico era, but really my full fanhood came when I moved to Spain in 2000, I want to say 2010 timeframe, 2011 timeframe. So I lived in Rota, Spain, Andalusia area, but I used to go to Madrid a lot and watch Real Madrid play. And I saw these Jose Mourinho teams, some of my favorite teams, maybe even more so than my last year in Spain. I was there for La Decima when they won that. But these Jose Mourinho teams were entertaining, to say the least. You never knew what was going to happen with the headlines, and he made El Clásicos fun. And I will say he is the perfect manager for several reasons. And I'll get into those right here, right now. Home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube coverage. The special one is back. That is the headlines today. But I think the number one reason is he is going to help us against Barcelona. Barcelona has been running circles around Real Madrid in La Liga. Admittedly so, they are way better than us right now. This golden generation of Barcelona is what I call Spanish queens. They are not the kings of Spain. They are the Spanish queens because they cannot do anything in Europe. That's facts. They crash out of the Champions League the same round that this sorry-ass Real Madrid team did, which is the quarterfinals. But when it comes to La Liga, it is an absolute madness with them, led by the Barcelona princess himself, Lamine Yamal. We cannot stop that guy. We cannot stop Barcelona, and Barcelona is better than every team in Spain. Now, I think Jose Mourinho and his tactics surely have evolved since those Real Madrid teams back in 2011, 2012 timeframe, but I think he could apply some of the same philosophies that he did back then to counteract Barcelona. Play an extremely low block. Let's absorb the pressure, and then we will counterattack like madmen. We have the horses to run the race. Think of some of the players that are on our team. Vinny Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Endrick is coming back. I'll get into him in a minute. These guys are incredibly fast. All we need to do is play a low block and pick a through pass against that extremely high fucking line that Barcelona employs. Every other team in Europe exposes it. This is no mystery here. Barcelona fans can call me crazy, but it is just facts. Look at all their games against any team of quality this year, any major European team. I'm not talking about the little guys in Spain. I'm not talking about your Rayo Vallecano, which they beat us. I'm not talking about your Albacetes, who they beat us too. Barcelona surely can beat them, but teams that can pick out a pass, the big boys, they expose Barcelona's high line time after time again. And we really need to do that. We just need to... Jose Mourinho will teach these guys how to break down that high line, which we struggle with time and time again. So I'm loving that hire. That's the number one reason why I think he's here, is to beat Barcelona. I don't think we have the juice right now to currently compete in the Champions League. It's going to take a little more. We're going to have to get some players out and get some players in. There are teams that are just better than us, flat out. Frankly speaking, there are teams that have way better players from top down. We have a few elite players on our team, but in particularly on our defense, that needs overhauled. big time, big time. And we'll see what happens in the transfer window. I've heard that Jose Mourinho is going to get exclusive control with the transfer window, the staff that he's bringing in, the medical staff. Those were his stipulations. I think that is just outstanding. And that needs to happen at Real Madrid. Give Jose Mourinho the reins to run this project. But the number two reason why I think this is a good move is there is only one bigger group of crybabies than Barcelona fans that I know, and that is Real Madrid players themselves. This whole group is the biggest crybabies, prima donnas, headline grabbers, egotistical maniacs that I've ever seen in my life. But on planet Earth, there is only one more guy on planet Earth that has a bigger ego than these players, and that is the special one, Jose Mourinho. He is going to fuck up these players if they don't adopt his philosophy. And two, he is going to push them to run their asses off. That is one thing Jose Mourinho teams do, is they run their asses off. Say what you want, say he's over the hill, say he doesn't have the coaching chops anymore, but he will demand players' respects. There have been players that he has coached in the history of his managerial legacy, whatever you want to call it, his managerial hood, including players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Cristiano Ronaldo. They had way bigger egos, way better players than the guys that are currently on our team, but he kept those players in check, and he wasn't afraid to drop a motherfucker or call them out in the Spanish media if they weren't, doing their job. So I am loving that we finally brought in a coach to manage these fucking crybabies. If nothing else, I don't care if the results stay the same. If the results stay the same, I think one thing that we can determine is if the results stay the same next year and we have the same group of people, which include Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius Jr., those are like our core three big guys. If the results stay the same after 5 different coaches, I think we're up to 5 with this collective group, which would be Carlo Ancelotti, we had Xabi Alonso, we had Arbeloa, now we had Jose Mourinho. Okay, 4. If it doesn't work across 4 different coaches, we need to blow up this project, this Kylian Mbappe project. We need to, I'll get into that in a second. There was a headline that came out today, but I think if he can't make it work, if he can't put these players into place, then no one can. That's just facts. So I'm loving this signing. I'm loving him coming in. I'm hoping he rights the ship. If nothing else, let's have us be competitive in La Liga. Here's a news flash. To win La Liga, you don't have to beat Barcelona all the time. You don't have to beat Atletico Madrid all the time. You can drop points against the big guys. You just have to not suck ass against the lower teams, which we have surely done this year. I have seen a madness that I never thought I would see at Real Madrid. Losing to the likes of Albacete in the Copa del Rey, losing to Getafe at home, scumbagging results week in and week out, 1-0 victories, 2-0 victories, lackluster performances. I'm fucking tired of it. If nothing else, I just want to see a better brand of soccer, a more cohesive unit out there. I want to see players running hard, and if they're not running hard, I want them on the bench, and Jose Mourinho is going to bring them on the bench, and surely we will get better results against the lower sides in La Liga. Will our luck in the Champions League or our form in the Champions League be any better? I doubt it. I just don't think, unless we have a miraculous and a generational window, I think our results will stay the same. Now, I can't complain too much because I guess we have in the worst era in Real Madrid history, which this team, I've watched damn near 25 years of Real Madrid soccer. Let's not get this confused. This is the worst Real Madrid team you'll ever see on the field and their behavior off the field. This is the worst we've ever been, but we've still managed to scumbag our way to a quarterfinals, which this golden generation of Barcelona, the queens of Spain, have not done any better than us, which is just mind-blowing. So, is there room for improvement in Europe? Yes, there is. I think if we're just even a little bit better, we can make it to a semifinals. And boy, would this be a fitting story for the end of Jose Mourinho's career. Let's be for real. Jose Mourinho has had a decorated career. I hope one of my buddies is watching this because one of my buddies is a Barcelona fan, and he said that Jose Mourinho is a Barcelona guy. I've already put his text message up saying that Jose Mourinho is a Barcelona guy because he had a stint at the Barcelona Academy. This cat is about to be the manager at Real Madrid like twice in his career. He is a Madridista. Let's not get that confused, but that's just a madness by this guy. And Barcelona fans are just just to be quite frank, complexing individuals with some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths. But at the end of the day, what a way for this guy to go out. I do not think that this will be a long-term fix for Real Madrid. He is signing a 2-year deal. He might not even last that long at Real Madrid. I could see it either going really well or really bad, and maybe him being out for a year. But fuck it, we don't have anything to lose. This is low risk. This is a low-risk move because we can either end up being incredible, and he could be known as the man to turn all this around, the man to make this work for Kylian Mbappe and Vinny, solving the puzzle, or he'll just be out in a year and we'll be looking for another manager and this whole project will blow up. But what a fitting end of the story would it be if after all this controversy surrounding Real Madrid, after all these Barcelona fans have been barking and laughing at us and their golden generation, which they have had back-to-back La Liga championships, that's great, that's good, but they've had no success in the Champions League in their golden generation. What a story arc would it be for Jose Mourinho to come in and scumbag his way to a Champions League final? This is Real Madrid. It is possible. We are the kings of that competition. In case anyone forgets, we have 15 of those titles, going on 16. We have had, since La Decima, we have had six Champions League titles since La Decima. Think about that. Since 2014, I believe La Decima was, we've had 6 La Liga championships. That's more than our closest rival in Spain, Barcelona, in their entire history of their sorry-ass organization. What about if the special one could come and deliver us another Champions League? That would be fitting. And I would argue we have great players at Real Madrid, but we just simply have not employed them the right way. One thing that I really hope changes, and for the life of me, if you're watching this video, Jose Mourinho, please stop playing Kylian Mbappe at fucking forward. Put him out on the right wing or leave him out of the squad altogether. I am tired of that man playing forward. And I can tell you who should be playing forward at Real Madrid if they choose to keep Kylian Mbappe and Vinny Jr. on the same team. Here's more news coming out. More good news coming out of Madrid today is the return of this young man from France. The return of another special one, I'm calling him, Endrick. So I'll read this briefly to you. It says, Endrick has confirmed that his time at Lyon has ended, and there have been no last-minute surprises. The 19-year-old Brazilian striker is returning to Real Madrid. In fact, Endrick has already returned to the Spanish capital, where he hopes to achieve a continuity he had in France, but he didn't in Spain. Relegated behind the likes of Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, and even Gonzalo Garcia during the first months of the Xabi Alonso era. Will it be different with Mourinho? So this is a long article, but he played over in Lyon, and he had a outstanding season. He played in 21 matches over in Lyon. He had 8 goals and 8 assists. Say what you want about Ligue 1. People call it a merchants league. That's fine. There's a lot of people that say crazy things off the wall about different leagues in Spain. I once again had a Barcelona fan tell me the other day that Serie A was the 8th best league in Europe. So who knows? Who cares about how you categorize leagues? Scoring 8 goals and 8 assists in 21 games in half a season is very difficult to do. That is a very good return for a player that is a teenager, that has a lot of life left in those wheels. And one thing that I think will help is Endrick tries very hard. I've watched Endrick play football for Real Madrid. He rarely looks disinterested. He has great speed. He has great pace and power. I would love to see this at him playing a number 9 role because he will make the runs. He sure as hell will finish the chances he gets. He can shoot with both his left and right foot, and he has a quality which I love in a football player. And I've seen it in other games, and it kind of got him in trouble, I think, in Real Madrid because he could have passed it to Mbappe a few times, but of course he didn't. This man loves to shoot the ball. And for a team that struggles to score goals, we need a guy that can really hit the ball from outside the box and just take a rip at it. And he scored some incredible goals over in Lyon. Look at his goals. All of his goals were like highlight real goals. I'm saying you don't necessarily need to score goals like that, but the fact that he has this in his bag is incredible. Now, I would never be the one to say that he will completely solve all of Real Madrid's problems. That is not the case. We do have problems going forward. I don't think it's a talent issue going forward. I really don't with Real Madrid. I think it is a positioning issue. I think they play Kylian Mbappe at the 9 position, at the forward position, and he is just simply not that. And it fucks up our entire team, our entire rhythm, our entire balance. You don't have a traditional forward in there for anyone to cross the ball into the box. So I think he would actually kind of bring some balance there if he played our number 9. But if, for whatever the reason, and God, I hope this doesn't happen, if they choose to play Kylian Mbappe at the forward position again, you have to give this man some playing time on the right-hand side of the pitch. We have not had a right winger, a legit right winger, since Gareth Bale has left. Gareth Bale has been gone from this team for a while, since the last Champions League, I believe, that we won. We have not had any type of right winger at all. We employed the likes of Slim Shady, Mastantuono over there. He is hot garbage. That man needs to go on a loan right now and figure out how to play football and bring some value to the team, because that $50-60 million signing is looking like one of the worst in Real Madrid's history. So I sure as hell hope he goes on loan. Brahim Diaz, the Moroccan prince, you want to know how many goals he scored in La Liga this year, anchoring our attack on the right side? About the same amount of Champions Leagues as Barcelona has won in the last 13 odd years. Close your eyes right now. What do you see? None. Nothing. Darkness. The nothingness. That's how many Champions League and goals that Brahim Diaz has scored this season, and how many Champions Leagues Barcelona has scored in the last 13 years, which is nothing, which is just incredibly hard to do. Not scoring 1 goal in La Liga as an attacking player is an absolute madness. So I hope that this guy gets his chance at Real Madrid. I'm at a point too now, like with some of these forwards that we have on our team, like if you bring Endrick back and choose not to play him, let him go. Let's sell him and make some money off of him. Same with Gonzalo Garcia. Don't let this poor guy sit on the sidelines and rot. If he is not going to play, give him the opportunity to go somewhere else and thrive, because Gonzalo Garcia is a good player. Same with Endrick, and I'm sure if you're watching this, Endrick, keep your head up. You are entering an absolute shit show. I promise you one thing under Jose Mourinho, if you work hard and run your ass off and listen to the manager, and you employ his strategy and you get in line with it, you will play a lot. He will drop other players, and I look forward to seeing Kylian Mbappe getting dropped next year for his just lackluster performances, and or him doing whatever the fuck he wants out on the field, playing out of position. But yeah, there is a return of 2 special ones, which I am looking forward to, in Jose Mourinho and Mr. Endrick. Now, the last news of the day, which I'll talk about, more good news. Hopefully this is true. I think this is cap. You read a lot of stuff in the media that is complete cat, but there is a headline that I read today that of maybe no more in booty, or maybe he might get sold. And the title of this headline, bear with me for a second while I pull this up on this PowerPoint, home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. Actually, I cut off that. Oh, no, there it is. Real Madrid executives pushing to either sell Vinicius Jr. or Mbappe. I'll just read this quick article to you before I sum up this video so I can get to bed. This is not my full-time job. I just enjoy doing this. So if you enjoy this content, like and subscribe. We're about to get an upgrade in our studio. This is pretty ghetto right now, admittedly. Admittedly so. I'm in an apartment. So any likes and subscriptions would help me out. Maybe help this channel grow. But let's go over this article. According to El Quipe, some of Real Madrid board members aren't happy with the coexistence of Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. No shit. It's been a shit show. That's not a part of the article. That's my own opinion. And then it goes on to say, and are pushing to sell one of the stars forward. Despite being one of the 2 best players in the world at the moment, their partnership hasn't clicked, with Los Blancos finishing this season without a major trophy. Mbappe's questionable attitude, lack of defensive work on the pitch, and self-centered behavior haven't gone well with half of the dressing room, who conversely connect more with Vinicius Jr. Similar to Mbappe, Vinicius is not without flaws in terms of maintaining good relationships with managers, such as falling out with Xavi Alonso, which led to the Spaniards' dismissal earlier this season. Regardless, both the superstars are viewed as cornerstones of Real Madrid's long-term project, with staunch backing from President Florentino Perez. Vinicius Jr.'s contract expires next year, and talks of a renewal have stalled due to his demands for an exorbitant salary. Still, Perez wants to tie him to a long-term deal. On the other hand, Mbappe's recently stressed that he doesn't intend to leave Real Madrid. All right, I'll give you my 2 cents on this one. I doubt that either one of them is getting sold this summer. Now, if you had to get rid of one of them, I don't have a preference at this point. Either one of them, in my opinion, can go, quite frankly. I have more loyalty to Vinicius Jr., but that guy has been a crybaby and a half. Almost as big of a crybaby as Barcelona fans. But he single-handedly might have got Xavi Alonso fired. His behavior during I believe it was the first El Clasico, when getting subbed off, was kind of the start of all this mess. And kind of the start of setting a bad example at Real Madrid, that player power and players can do whatever they want and walk out on games and not finish the game on the bench and watch your team, root on your team, being a good teammate. That's filth that he brought into this team. Now, I will say with Vinicius Jr., we have won 2 Champions Leagues with the guy, and he's played a huge role in it. Is his form as good as it used to be? No. Is he still a very good player? Yes. So if I had to make a choice, I would re-sign Vinicius Jr. now and offload Mbudi. I have no loyalty to Mbudi, who I'll get into in a second. But if you are planning on getting rid of Vinicius Jr., Florentino Perez, or whoever the president is going to be, now would be the time, because he only has 1 year left on his contract. If we don't sell him now to whoever, we will not get any value out of him. That's losing out on a lot of revenue that you could potentially get for selling this player. If they choose not to re-sign him, if they're planning on that, please get rid of him now. I can't read the minds of ownership or management or whoever's making those decisions, but if you want to get some value out of a transfer, do it now, because he's going to walk on a free. And I heard some of his demands are absolutely ridiculous, that he wants another signing bonus. That's something that they don't do at Real Madrid. They do like a one-time signing bonus type thing. You are not going to get another one. I don't even think a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo or the Luka Modrics of the world, who are way better players than you, got that. So I don't know what they're going to do with Vinny, but I hope they keep him over Mbappe. I will say I have no loyalty to Mbappe. I will be critical about these guys, but Mbappe has been a complete nightmare of a signing since he's been to Real Madrid. This same squad, albeit we have lost a couple very good players out of it, including Toni Kroos and Modric, but a couple years ago we were winning Champions Leagues on the back of a young Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, who they still are both relatively young. These guys aren't old. They're in their early 20s. They should be in the prime of their career. They should be winning Champions Leagues, winning La Ligas, at least winning a trophy. And ever since this French fuck has come into our team, he's completely disrupted that flow. So, in my opinion, if you're going to get rid of one of them, get rid of Mbappe. What team would buy his ass? I have no idea. He's becoming the dictator. You see those memes. He's becoming a cancer to teams. So I don't know who would buy him. I honestly don't. Same with Vinny. Just with his attitude and general aura, bad aura that he has around him, I don't know if any team would want to add him. They are very talented players, but how much would they disrupt the locker room? What willingness they have to listen to coaches? What willingness do they have to play as a team, to play in a certain manager style? We'll find out. But you two boys, here's just a warning. Your asses are going to be hurting on the bench if you don't roll with Mr. Jose Mourinho, because he will fuck your day up, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. You guys, this is just my final. I'll sign off with for Real Madrid. You guys have caused me, and I'm going to have a crash out video at the end of the season, but this is just a prequel to that crash out video I'm going to have on season end, when I'm just going to rip into all these players. But I can genuinely say that you guys have caused me enormous pain, physical and mental suffering. The physical part of it is I've had to wake up at bad times with my work schedule to watch your sorry asses put on some lifeless soccer, and I've had to caffeinate myself to watch your fucking dull-ass football, watch you guys be crybabies, read headlines, all that. But mentally, you guys have been exhausting, and I've been getting shit on by Barcelona fans for 2 years straight. No comebacks I can really do. My only comeback that I can do to Barcelona, because they play a good brand of football, a good enough brand of football, rather, I'll change my quote, a good enough brand of football to win La Liga, and they've been running circles around us. I have no comebacks except their lack of Champions League success. And surely if Barcelona ends up winning a Champions League, I will have nothing, especially if you guys don't do anything next season. So thank you for the mental torture that you've put me through with all these Barcelona fans barking in my ear, getting random texts from people that I barely talk to, just saying how much Real Madrid sucks is just something I don't want to receive day in and day out, watching your just following your sorry asses. Do better next season. Play with some fucking pride. Play with some honor. Acquit yourself well. Play for the shirt and listen to the damn coach. And I sure as hell hope you have a rough time. I'll get into what players I think are going to rock with Jose Mourinho. My number one player that I think is going to thrive under Jose Mourinho, and I'll just end the video here, is Jude Bellingham. He works hard. He generally, I think, has a good attitude for the most part. But he's a great offensive and defensive player, and Jose Mourinho is going to love that in him, in my opinion. And I really think that it's time for now, Jude Bellingham being a Real Madrid player for a couple seasons now, it's time for him to take on a leadership role and maybe put all these other clowns on his back and put them in line to be the leader out there on the pitch that I know you can be, and just become the man at Real Madrid. I'm thinking about buying. I haven't bought a Real Madrid shirt in a while. I'm thinking about buying a Bellingham shirt for next season, and I just hope the best for the guy. I hope the best for the team. I hope the best for Endrick too. I might buy an Endrick shirt because sure as hell, fuck Mbappe and fuck Vinicius Jr. for just ruining my day week in and week out. Sorry ass dudes. All right, that's it. Hala Madrid, Puta Barca. See you later. Good news out of the Bernabeu today. Out of Madrid, out of Spain. Fuck y'all Barcelona fans. I'm out.